Hello, everybody, and welcome to the long-awaited, the elongated, finally happening. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it doesn't blow up my face like it has the last 2 times I've tried to record this damn thing. I should say technically 3, because I had one recording a long time ago on our co-op channel, Mr. Spidazzle, but that ended because I think I ended that one. And then I tried to do Infamous 2 first on this channel a long time ago, but that video fucked up. Then I tried to do this game on, I think, this channel before, and that fucked up. I think that's what it was, or it might have been a different channel. Regardless, it's Infamous. So this, I want to give you guys a quick heads up. This is going to be kind of a long playthrough. I don't know exactly how long. I want to say maybe 40 to 50 parts. Maybe. I don't really know. Maybe minimum, I guess. I mean, it depends on like how long the game was again, because this game tends to be kind of lengthy, not because of cutscenes, but just because of what to do necessarily. And for this playthrough specifically, for those that know what Infamous is, you have the choice to be either good or evil. And for this playthrough, I'm going to be playing good. Now, maybe in the future, I may come back and show off some of the evil stuff. I might just show off what happens when you get all the evil stuff. I can probably do that instead of just going through a whole different playthrough. But then again, going through a whole different playthrough, I can show off the evil side quest rather than the good side quest. So I'm not going to try to show off both. That would take way too much time right now. So I'm going to say this now. I may or may not in the future do an evil playthrough. I'm not exactly sure yet. Maybe on my second channel I might do that, because evil is a lot easier, in my opinion, to play. But then again, good has its benefits too. So both sides have their own benefits. Evil's more destructive, whereas good is more, what's the word? Reserving, I guess. I don't know. Like your energy is better. But we'll get into that. Now, will I be getting all the blast shards? I want to, but we'll see how that happens. So bear with me. This will be a normal playthrough for now. But if I decide 100% like halfway through it or like near the end, then I will be sure to let you know. So, without further ado, let's get started with Sucker Punch's Infamous. The very first Infamous game to ever come out back in 2009, which was a great year. I think it was 2009. Which was a great year for gaming, because Uncharted 2 and Batman Arkham Asylum came out then. Yeah, this says 2009, so I believe that should be right. Anyway, see you guys after this first cutscene.
Activation plus 6 minutes. Pulse is 45. Respiration 10. Looking good, Cole.
The hell happened? Oh, God.
sliding into unconsciousness, I could somehow, I don't know, hear the voices of the dying. Thousands crushed by falling buildings or burned alive in the fires. Trish lost her sister, almost lost me. Zeke was always there, somehow sure that I'd wake up, while outside the city fell apart. A plague struck, followed by rioting, theft, rapes, civilization committing suicide. In a bullshit attempt to contain the biological threat, the federal government locked down all access in and out of the city. Now we're stuck in this cage with the psychos. Cops are all but gone off the streets, either dead or too chicken shit to stand against the gangs that control things now. Outside, things were bad. But inside me, something was beginning. Scary as hell at first. Gotta understand, there was no one to talk to, no experts to consult. But with time, I'm learning to control it, master it. Just hope it's not too late.
I thought you were gonna watch TV.
Batteries are dead again. You mind putting on a freak show?
Sure. I'm glad it's good for something.
Probably need to charge them all. TV's a hog.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into this game real quick. So, first things first, you shoot lightning out of your hands, or electricity I should say, just like you would any other typical normal shooter, except for the fact that you literally have lightning powers. So you just hold down L1 and then R1 to aim. Now I want to make mention this is a PS3 exclusive title, and Sucker Punch was mostly a, how do you put it, a PlayStation group anyway. Same thing with Insomniac until they started kind of branching out. I mean, I don't know what Sucker Punch is really doing right now. I kind of lost track of them after a while, but yeah, we'll see. Wait, what am I shooting at again? Oh, yeah, I'm missing one, that's why. Oh, no, we're doing the dummies. Okay. So I just want to make mention that I haven't done this for a while. So if things aren't going the way they should be going to you, well, first of all, you're probably watching the wrong Let's Play, if that's the case. I will guarantee you this, guys. I'm not bad at this game by any means necessary. I mean, the game's even easy on hard, so... And I should probably get into explaining, like, the different difficulties and what they offer in a minute. But, yeah, basically, if I can... I'm sure I can handle my own. That's just what I want to say. Like, there will be times where I'll die, but... Yeah, why does this not have subtitles on it? That's so fucking irritating. I'm not even gonna worry about it. You guys can just go watch a different video if necessary. But whenever the TV Jacker comes up, like, who really gives a shit anymore? I've played this game so many times, I just don't even really care about... I'm starting to really not give a shit about the story. It's kind of weird. Like, to me, InFamous has always been one of those things that are more fun to play rather than just, like, you know, legitimately, I guess, watch. Because to me, the voice acting, like, looking back on it now, you can definitely tell that there is, it's kind of weird. I don't know, they have like an edgy, like, dark tone to it, and, you know, compared to Sly Cooper, it's much different, but, you know, then again, Sly Cooper, you know, it's got its fair share of weird voice acting too, so.
That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, like, one of our specialties, or I should say symptoms of our little disease we got going on here, we can actually jump off any building and land on the ground without taking no fall damage whatsoever. Now keep in mind, you can't jump in water. So it's kind of like the Spider-Man Homecoming games, or at least Homecoming took... Or not Homecoming. Did I say Homecoming? Really? The Amazing Spider-Man games, where whenever you jump in water, Peter will basically just jump right out. Except in this case, if you jump in water in this game, you die. So, now you don't die instantly, you just take a lot of damage. Now one thing I'm going to show off later will be the little Sly Cooper logo on my backpack. But I'll show that off whenever we get a chance to actually use the camera. This is one of my favorite moments of the game right here, is actually running around with Zeke and him talking about like pizza and shit. Because like whenever I'm hungry or whenever I used to play this game, I used to just something about hearing that just it. I don't know, made me crave pizza like big time, you know. And then just hearing like a big fat wad, just something about it like was really cathartic, I guess. I used to play this game like a lot, folks. Just so we all know. I mean, I'm talking like too much. You know, I basically platinumed the game, so if that's not a good guarantee of like how much I've played the game, then I don't know what to tell you. I've platinumed this game, I've platinumed 2, and I have platinumed Second Son. So for those that want to come in here and tell me that I'm not, you know, a fucking decent Infamous player, well, you're right, I'm not. I mean, granted, I just want to say, like, getting a platinum trophy or just getting a specific trophy in a game does not make you eligible for being, like, the best at a game. I'm just letting you guys know that I definitely enjoyed these games. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily good at them.
Stand back.
Good comes with skill, so you got to show off that skill. But we'll get into that when I get into that. I guess after Zeke goes fucking flying off the car, I'll go ahead and explain the different difficulties right now. But first of all, that's the shockwave. It has the ability to knock back objects and knock back enemies. And then we have to go recharge. So the different difficulties we have is easy, normal, and hard. And easy is easy as shit. I mean, it's not going to be that fucking difficult to figure that out. Also, keep in mind that you see that little bar I have on the top left? Well, let's just explain that after the difficulties real quick. I'm getting way too ahead of myself here. So in easy mode, I think you get... Well, let's consider the first enemies, the Reapers. Let's just use them as an example. So, let's say you kill off a basic Reaper enemy. You'll get, I think it was, I want to say 15 points for experience points. Now, if you're in normal mode, it drops down to, I want to say maybe 12. I'm not really entirely too sure, but I know they drop it. And then in hard mode, it drops down to, I think, like 10 experience points. So that's really all that hard mode really offers, is just you get less experience and it's a lot more painful to go through. Enemies hit you harder, you die faster. Recharge rates are basically all the same throughout, it doesn't really matter. Nothing's really changed in terms of coal. Just, you know, everything around you is kind of a little bit changed, I guess. Not everything, but just little tidbits here and there, but you won't notice it really. I mean, hard mode makes it harder to basically level up, but throughout the entire game, you'll have a complete and full control and opportunity to level up 100%. So I wouldn't worry about that. There's always opportunities to kill off more enemies and grind, basically, if it needed to come to that. So I'm gonna be playing on normal mode for the sake of just playing on normal mode, not playing on either hard or easy. I don't want to make the game too easy and then make it to the point where it's just ridiculously stupid. And I don't want to make it hard because I want to get that experience points and level up at a decent pace. So that's the plan. One thing that happens whenever the camera is like cornered in on on Cole, he'll actually glow whatever color side of either good or evil you are. If you're evil, he'll be glowing red, but if you're good, he'll be glowing blue. But for now, we don't really have a technical karma going on, so we don't have a good side or evil side right now. It's just basically neutral, which I wish they would have had something like that in some of the Infamous games, but they didn't, so that's okay. I understand that. Alright, so pretty soon, after we knock this down, we're going to get our first choice to either be good or evil, and I know I'm going through this really fast. I know I'm explaining things way too quickly, and I do apologize for that, but the game is just going, so that's what I want to do. I just want to keep going. Alright, here we go. We're going to get a cutscene in a second.
Late. That's where I caught my first sight. The Reapers. Before the blast, they were just a bunch of junkies dealing drugs. Now, they own the Neon District. Taking whatever they want. That changes today.
And yes, you did hear that, folks. They take control of the Neon District. So one thing I want to make mention of, there are 3 districts in this entire game. There is the Neon District, I think it's the Warden District, and then the Historic District, which will have the hardest enemies to fight. The Warden District, or I think it's Warden, has basically the second district has the trash baggers, as I call it. Basically, you'll see they're a cool type of enemy, and that's one thing I love about InFamous 1 compared to like the other 2 games is the enemy types. The Reapers are probably one of my personal favorite of the enemy types, and actually like all 3 types of different enemies are pretty cool, except for like I don't know, the ones in the Storage District kind of pissed me off, but other than that, yeah, the rest of the guys here are pretty much fun. So, quick thing. Whenever you kill an enemy, you see that says take down 3. Well, I guess it was actually less than I expected. Huh. I thought it was like 10 or something. Maybe that might be like a whole different enemy I'm thinking of. Well, anyway, whenever you basically kill an enemy or take them down, you know, basically get a KO, you'll essentially get experience points for taking them down. Now, when an enemy is like moving around, like, you know, holding his sides or his legs or something, like his legs are in the air, whatever the case may be, essentially what that will do is if you shoot them, you'll get 1 more experience point for it. So you'll get like that person just fell. Yeah, there's a lot of weird ragdoll she's dead, I think. Yeah, she's totally dead. Okay, so real quick, you have a choice to either be good or be evil. If you want to be evil, just start shooting people and they'll run away, and then you get the good, or you get the evil. But if you be good, it just, you know, stay away, you'll get the good side. So, but yeah, if you take down an enemy, like when they're on the ground, you shoot them 1 more time, you get that 1 experience point. Now there will be other things that come into play later via karma, like whether it's evil or good side, that will affect different outcomes of what you can do with enemies when they're down. So we'll get that later on when we get to that. Oh, great. Here we go. The fucking romantic love story between these 2 jackasses. I fucking do not like this one bit. I don't like Trish at all. Like, I just despise her entirety. It's really obnoxious. And why does that not have subtitles? God, that's so fucking annoying. So basically, I think he's explaining... He's basically explaining, like, oh yeah, this guy's a terrorist, so make sure you stay away from him. There you go, that's the gist of it. Again, okay, yeah. Real quick, look on the back of my little backpack here. You see on the bottom, underneath that 3? There you go, there's the Sly Cooper logo. And I think in InFamous 2, they show off a Sly 4 movie theater thing.
Ever been called a terrorist? All I remember from that day is going to work and then running for my life. That video, though. How'd I get that package? Why would I deliver a bomb? For who? Regardless, the consequences are everywhere. Whatever there'd been between Trish and me was gone. She didn't say a word, no emotion, nothing, just walked away. By then, people nearby were starting to recognize me. It was gonna get ugly. Even Zeke was giving me weird looks. He and I made quick plans to meet up at Stampton Bridge. Try to get out of town. Just hope he shows. Because right now, I'm a little short on friends.
Alrighty, and every time you finish a mission, whether it be good or evil, you always get these kind of like neutral mission acts, where basically you get 500 experience for just beating a mission. It could just be a main mission, basically. I forget what it is for SideQuest, but yeah, that chick is dead. Damn. Or, dude, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're supposed to run away from these guys. Because at the moment, they think we're bad people. Also, little quick tip. If you're playing on good, this might be something you want to avoid. If you ever come across a puddle, Cole will instantly, essentially, shock the puddle. So just keep your eye out on that. And the reason why that's a bad thing, if you're on good, is because if a person walks into it, as so, they'll get shocked to death. And now, granted, usually 1 shock, if you're lucky, you probably won't kill them, but that one certainly did, so. Alright. Now, take a look at the bottom right. There's a mini-map that shows us our destination we need to go to. The blue marker means our main missions we need to go to. And yellow will eventually be side quests, and then you'll have a blue and red with a yellow outline, and that will be whether good or bad missions. We'll come back to this place later for a main mission, but for right now, all we need to do is just run away. Now, also take a look on your mini-map there. You see those little red dots and those little triangles? That essentially means that there are Reapers in the area. Now, granted, killing off Reapers in the area does not exactly extend to the fact that they will never come back again. The only way to really lessen the Reaper control is to essentially do a side mission that requires you to well, actually just doing any side mission, really, will eventually give you territory command. So we'll get into that when we get into that. But for right now, let's just go ahead and take out the Reapers because they're being little fucking piss ants. And plus, we get experience. Now, also, if you happen to knock off an enemy off a rooftop, they will take the fall damage, and they will probably most likely die. And yeah, see, he died. Stunt unlocked, high fall. Stunts are a different thing in this game. There are 21 total stunts that you have to complete in order to get a trophy. And I will try my best to show them all off, but they're really difficult later on. So just give me time. I'll work on them the best I can. So the first stunt we have is the high fall one, and I believe you have to do them in order, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then we should be fine. But for the first one, all you have to do is just knock them off a building or a high vantage point, and there you go. Oh fuck! I was trying to do the shockwave one, where you basically shock a guy in the air and then you shoot him. Also, you can get headshots, and you can get experience for headshots too. So keep that in mind. Again, this game is kind of like a shooter game in the regard where you're using basic electricity. As you see right there, we got 1 experience point for getting a headshot. Now, granted, getting a headshot kill, I don't think matters until specific like upgrades come into play. So for right now, we're just gonna get the 1 experience point for it, which we will get regardless, you know, later on. But yeah, for right now, we'll just be dealing with that. You can also shoot fire extinguishers and set them ablaze as well, so that can also basically incarcerate, whatever the fucking word is for it. Basically incapacitate enemies, I guess I'm trying to say. Like, basically kill them. You can do some massive damage. Also, we can climb walls, so that's another thing too. There's so many fucking things in this game, guys. I can't explain enough. So that bar in the top left, let's get that out of the way. Alright, the electric bar, the thing that's kind of like glowing a little bit, that is our energy storage. Now, in InFamous 1, note how I said 1, you have unlimited energy. Even if, let's take for example, even if I was to waste all of my energy that I can use, I can still shoot off light or like electricity out of my hands. That does not go away. You never lose that no matter what you do, unless there's a certain scenario in the game that forces you to lose that ability. That is the only time you will ever have that ability lost, is that the game wants you to. Other than that, you are perfectly fine to use whatever electricity you wish. Now, one thing you noticed, when I was sucking up that generator, I got basically full bar back. But when I went back to suck it up again, I can't get full bar back anymore. Well, the reason being is because every object in this game has a limit of electricity it has. Now, one little quick trick that you can do is, of course, shock an object back to full capacity and then reshock it and then restock on your electricity. That's one thing to do. The only way to really waste your electric cells, your energy cells as they call it, is to do special powers like, say, for instance, you know, the shockwave attack. That's the only main way for right now that we can basically waste it. This attack right here, this ground slam, does not waste energy at all. So you can use that whenever you want as well, even if it's depleted. You also have melee attacks, which is basically just this 3-hit combo thing. We'll get into that later when we get to that point. Also, sometimes the TV jacker will come on to like different screens and the triangle button will come up. Same thing with like news stations. They'll come up and you can just like look at them and just watch like that. So that's how you do it. Also, again, with the top left corner, there's a blue and a red bar. And there are 3, you can see there's 2 black bars cutting through the blue and then 2 in the red. There are 3 levels of karmic rating. The more good actions you do, the more like good side quests you do, the more good things you do necessarily. The more you progress through the game, you'll eventually level up your karmic rank. So right now we're only Guardian, and the first rank for evil is Thug. And then after we get done with Guardian, I think it's Champion, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, it's Heroic, I think? No, I think it's Heroic and then Champion. One of those two. And then for evil, it's Thug. I forget the second one, and then the third one's InFamous, so. Alright, anyway, on to the main mission at hand. Let's just go ahead and get this one over with. Actually, you know what? No, let's call it a video here, and then I will actually instead see you guys next time. Funny enough, a lot of you people who are probably watching who've never played InFamous before, obviously, you're probably completely dumbfounded by like any of these buildings. You're probably thinking like, God, these buildings all look the same. Nothing is totally different between them. Hey, motherfucker! I saw him shooting. I just didn't think he had the accuracy to actually hit me. Oh yeah, also cars can suck you up too. But Carl Cole mentions later, I don't know if he mentioned already, but he can't actually get in cars because if he did, they'll explode. That'll come into play later, and then this area will come into play later as well. The reason why I mentioned the fact that, you know, people were going to have a hard time, like, figuring out, like, what the fuck's going on here. Like, why does everything look the same? Like, everything just, you know, you don't really understand. It's, how do I put it? I play this game so much, I'm starting to recognize landmarks, is what I'm saying. Like, this fountain right here, this will come into play later, too. In my own head. There are buildings that do look quite similar, of course, and there are buildings that start to kind of blend into one another, and of course, you know, I can't exactly always think of, like, which landmark is where, necessarily, but for the most part, I played the game enough to where I know where to go, so that should be good enough for you guys to hopefully enjoy it. So, sorry again for this video being so goddamn weird. There's so many things that happen in the first set of the game that they don't really... They explain it, but there's so much, you know, little detail that I just want to throw in there because I just want to. Right now, people don't really care for us. They're kind of like just in the middle right now. They're not throwing anything at me. It's just for that one scene. But if you're evil, they would start throwing stuff at you. So, since we're not evil, we're fine. Anyway, folks, without further ado, I'll see you all next time. We'll play some more Infamous. And we'll take on the bridge. So, anyway, I'll see you then. Take care, everybody.